Hello everyone, today we're going to be going over a simple design I created for a melon slash pumpkin farm. It is a bit resource intense, but it's something you can understand if you're not some redstone guru. And something I really wanted in my base was a way to see what was going on. A lot of these redstone contraptions just have a chest for you to collect at, and they don't really have a space for you to view the process. So that was something I really wanted. So I went ahead and I designed this. It's very simple. You have a double piston extender that breaks the blocks below it, and then those get picked up by a hopper minecart. But there's just a few tricks you have to get right to make sure everything goes smoothly. So let's jump right into it. So what you're going to need to build this, you're going to want a few stacks of whatever brick you're going to be working with. Some dirt, probably don't need 64. I think you just need 32 or so, 36 or so pieces of dirt, but that's not going to be a problem if you're playing in survival mode. One minecart with a hopper in it. You're going to want about 8 powered rails, 47 regular rails. You might want to bring a little more just in case. Just about half a stack of redstone, 18 sticky pistons and 18 normal pistons. And I don't need to keep going through this. And of course some seeds and a hoe. So let's go ahead and get to the building. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is start off by making this bottom platform. It's 5 blocks by 9 blocks. So we got 5 here, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 back, and go ahead and fill that one in. Alright, so once you get that filled in, you're going to go ahead and grab your tracks. I have them on me. And this may be a little confusing off the bat, but just take my word for it. So you're going to want to make a special zigzag design. So if you're wanting your chest to be on this side, like I did over here, yeah, you're going to place your tracks in this formation. And you're going to make sure that this one turns this way, as opposed to going down like that. And then you're going to want to grab some powered rails, and right in the middle, on the 5th block, I believe, or 4th block, 1, 2, 3, 4, on the 5th block right here, you're going to want to replace these all with powered rails. This is just to kind of speed up the process, so you're not waiting around forever. And then you're going to want to go below all these blocks, and just place some torches down here to power the powered rails. And they're going to be powered forever, so you don't need to worry about shutting them off and on or anything like that. Alright, so the next step is to build this formation at the end of this structure, which is opposite of where you want your chest to be, just like I have it over here. So you're going to have 2 blocks coming off this side, with one more extended this way, and then 2 more paralleled up. So you're going to put 2 normal rails, make sure this one is a powered rail, and then you're going to go normal rail, but it's key that you break this rail and replace it with a solid block, just to make sure your minecart doesn't fly off the rails. Next, you're going to want to extend the chest end of your railway. You're going to come off this end block here, and you're going to build this formation. Now, here you're going to place 2 droppers facing upwards, so you're going to see this hole facing up. Sorry, it's hard to do this on creative mode. And then you're going to place a hopper going into this bottom dropper. And then you're going to shift click a power rail on top of that. And now it's essential that you surround the rail here in solid blocks, so no transparent blocks like glass or chests or anything like that. And make sure you don't have this block covered as well. I was just using that as an assistant. Then you're going to build the system that's going to detect when your hopper minecart has items in it. So what you do is you place a comparator coming out of the hopper here. Make sure it's facing this direction. And then you are going, let me just make sure I'm doing this right. That comparator goes into a block with a torch on it, and on top of that is a solid block, and then coming out of that block that you just placed on top of the torch comes a repeater, which goes into the block that is going to power this. So the way it works is when the hopper gets some items in it, this will turn off, until the hopper is done draining them. Once it's done draining them, it's going to activate the rail again and send your cart back on its way. Alright, so once that is situated, you're gonna want to make this system that's going to allow your droppers to push things up into the chest, which I'm going to place right now. So your chest is going to be located up here, and you're going to want to need a system that is going to allow these droppers to systematically push items upward. So the way you do that is you need a single comparator coming out of this bottom dropper, again facing away from it. Out of this, you're going to connect that to a solid block with a redstone torch on the end, and then this is key. This redstone torch has to be facing into a hopper that is 2 hoppers that are facing into each other. And you're going to want to place any block that you don't really care about into the first hopper. Then out of the second hopper, you're going to want another comparator facing this way, 1 redstone dust, and then a repeater here. The reason you don't just continue this with dust is because it only powers it by a distance of 1, and don't worry about the blinking right now. So you want a repeater here. You're going to want some more dust going over here, a single repeater going into the bottom one, and just connect that up. So the reason it's blinking right now is because I left some things in one of these. Just a second. Oh, there it is. I left some things in the system, so it was working right before your eyes. So take a second to take a look at this, just to make sure you get it correct. Remember that these hoppers must be facing each other, and you must have a repeater right here. And one thing to note, I was just quickly building a little platform here to give a similar reference to this one. Your chest can really be in any direction you would like, depending on your aesthetic design. For my purposes, I'm going to be having my chest like this, with the droppers going into the farther end of the chest, just like that. Alright, so like I said, I just quickly made just a little facade of the front side of this, just to give you a little bit of spacing. So you have your chest here. Really, you just have your observer block right here. Oh man, I've broken my chest. Or not observer block, sorry. Your dropper here, and you're going to want to come 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks away from your droppers there, and you're going to want to get your dirt out. Not coarse dirt, just regular dirt. And you're going to want to build 9 blocks this way, 2 wide, and then you repeat that on this side here. But the next step is going to be, you're going to want to go up 2 blocks here, or, yeah, 2 blocks in the middle between these things. And you're going to run redstone across the entire top of that. And then you're going to come up 2 more blocks, so 1, 2 up here, and run redstone across the end. Oh, that's not redstone. And run redstone across that entire thing as well. Now, once you have this set up, you're going to place sticky pistons facing down on both sides of this top column here, just like so. And make sure they are the sticky pistons up here. Now, once you complete that, as you probably have guessed, you're going to go ahead and place your regular pistons below all the sticky pistons. Make sure they're facing down. So once you finish that up, it should look something like this. I do prefer to place fences on this level, because I personally think it looks a bit better, because I enjoy seeing the mine tracks down below through the window that we're going to make up there. So I prefer to do that. But it's really up to you. It doesn't matter what blocks you put there. Alright, after all that, you're going to want to build this portion of the design, which allows your pistons to double extend. So you're going to extend 2 blocks off of each. Up here, you're going to place a repeater and set it to 3 ticks. So it's on 1 tick now. So it's 1, 2, 3 ticks there, with a piece of redstone coming off of that. And you're going to want a piece of redstone coming off here. Now we're going to build a bit of a redstone torch tower. So you're going to put a block between these 2 levels, put your redstone torch there. It's going to activate, but don't worry, that's supposed to happen. You're going to come down 1 more level, make sure you break this block, You're going to place a torch on this block here, which is going to unpower this, which is what we really want. That's going to be its default setting. You're going to place a torch there, which is gonna switch it again. You're going to place a torch here, and then finally, you're going to place a torch here. Or not finally. I forgot one last level of torches. You're going to place a torch here. So we are almost done with the redstone. Now all you need to do is place a repeater going into this block with the bottom torch on it. And this is where you're going to take your signal from. Now, in my personal survival world, I will have this hooked up to a redstone clock, but for our sake, we're just going to hook this up to a simple button, because it does rely on one pulse. So it will pulse based on your clock system or what you're going to hook it up to, and it will just quickly double extend and hopefully break these blocks here. And one thing I do want to explain is this design is neat because once you do get your hopper minecart into the system, you can start it off right here. And unlike some other builds, this won't allow the minecart to roll around until you've activated your pistons. So by activating it, you actually turn this torch on, which temporarily powers this activator rail. Oh, whoops, don't want to do that, which sends the cart off. Oh dear, I forgot to power this. Alright, make sure you power this one. Sorry about that. Give it a little push. So then, once it runs a full cycle, like so, it stops right there again, just waiting to be released the next time that this is run through. Once you've completed all these things, you're pretty much done with the redstone, but there's just a few steps you gotta do to make sure that everything works smoothly. And the first thing I would recommend, although not necessary, is to put a small ring around this entire build. Of course, if you're planning on growing, you're going to want a place to put some water. So I like to make a little trough right here, right in the center, for my water. Just like so. Just throw some water in there, and then I cover it up immediately, because water and redstone are very scary together. And you can just replicate that on the other side to make sure you have enough water for whatever you're growing over there. Alright, I've gone ahead and I've replicated the little water pocket on the other side. And now, of course, you all know this, you just till one side. And I would highly, highly recommend that you place your pumpkins on the side where the minecart ends. So like I said, pumpkins on the other side, melons on this side. And for the sake of the video, I'm not going to wait for these to grow. I'm just going to go ahead and fill them in manually. Alright, so I've gone ahead and just fill these in manually. Make sure that your plants are lit up. We're going to go ahead and give this a little roll. So you activate your pistons, that activates the minecart, it goes around, and it's actually able to pick up blocks one block above it, because the hopper actually, it counts as existing in these blocks, so it picks up all those. There are some cases where you will get some blocks in here, but that's no worry, because when the minecart comes back around, as it will in just a few seconds, it is actually able to pick these up on its way back. So they just get thrown in the next time that it is harvested. And it does take a quick second for that to all drain out. Any second now. Alright, there we go. It started. So as you can see on its way back, it's going to be able to pick up these ones here. And they're just going to be in this until it goes around it one more time, which is no issue for me personally. So there's a little bit of inefficiency just right there on those like first 3 or 4 blocks. But as you can see, everything is made into the chest nicely, so you don't even need to think about it. Also, if you don't want to worry about connecting this to a clock, you can just simply extend this up to here and just place your button here or whatnot. So that's the design. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them below in the comments, and have a nice build.